So if you're thinking about going to OpenStack, it's really not that much different than your legacy infrastructure is today. So here are some of the projects that are common to an OpenStack environment, and we've broken them down here just for conversation's sake into networking, storage, compute, delivery, and operations. And let's see where those differences are. In your legacy environment, you may not be running SDN today, but many environments are considering that move to software-defined networking. That's a common standard inside of OpenStack. Our storage environments, typically we have a SAN and NAS environment running block and file storage within our environment. That's typically run within the operating system and the file system that's held within that operating system, like Red Hat or like Microsoft Windows. Our virtualization, our compute layer, really is that VMware, Red Hat, Hyper-V, those type of things where we're managing that the VMs and the images. So for example, in a VMware environment, that's going to be your ESX type of services. And then in a Red Hat environment, that's going to be your RevM type of services. All of these things managing that compute environment. Now, this bare metal recovery built into the automation, not typically seen within a legacy operating system outside of OpenStack, although there are software products that do that. Although for many IT environments, this bare metal inclusion into an automated infrastructure is very cool and a great attribute of OpenStack. When we move up to the delivery section, of course, all of the messaging, and when we use the word messaging, we're not talking about text messaging or emails. We're talking about how the APIs communicate with each other throughout the environment, those type of things. That messaging is built into the core OS. DNS common service, identity management, of course, is your LDAP, your Active Directory, those type of things. And your key management is usually found within an HMS type of solution. So all of these things built into the core operating system from delivery. And then operations, really you take the dashboard and the orchestration engines here, separated out into operations, and you would move that down closer to that compute node, right, where you have the ESX or the Hyper-V or the Red Hat Cloud Forms managing that environment, providing dashboards and orchestration, the heat and horizon inside of OpenStack. And then the database, of course, you're going to have your SQL and non-SQL, and your file system is going to be managed within the operating system itself on how it communicates and manages its files. And then, of course, governance. Although you do have audit logs and things of that nature in a legacy operating system, typically that's an external application. So this is really just a summary here of OpenStack, and then found in red here are those components found within your legacy environments today that should be familiar with you. So as you can see, OpenStack really isn't that much different than your core operating systems are today. It's just broken into different projects, so that may become a little bit confusing, but a lot of these core services already found within your operating systems today, we just identify them within OpenStack environments. So hopefully this has been kind of a review of that comparison between those IT operations that we would do to support an enterprise environment within an OpenStack environment and how we're doing it in our legacy environments today. Not a lot of difference.